All right, so we were just talking about Bragg, right? Braxton Bragg, naming this town after him, even though he never came here. But so one of the things they say around here is like, oh no, it wasn't named, they didn't name this place after a Confederate because they named it before the Confederacy even existed. That's one argument people right now say. They say, oh no, they named it Bragg before the Confederacy, so it's not a Confederate monument to have this town name, even though he joined the Confederacy. But the truth of the matter is, that was a military base named Fort Bragg. And they did name that before the Confederacy clan secedes from the government and tries to form their own slave society, right? But then, this person, C.R. Johnson, he comes along, the reservation and the Fort Bragg, it was so corrupt. Remember Priscilla telling you about how horrible it was? It was so corrupt, even the United States government said, we have to close this down. This is too corrupt. And so they shut it down. And what happened next? All the settlers living around here just took the land. So the native people here, the Pomo people, their land was taken from them when they made the fort. And then they didn't give them the reservation to run themselves, which is what happens for most reservations, right? The native people get their reservation. That's for theirs to run. They dissolved this reservation and the settlers just came in. Some of them supposedly bought it for $1.25 per acre. And also, it's very clear from some local historians here that many of them just took the land that they wanted. And so that's happening. Then the Confederacy comes along, and then this town starts turning into a logging town, right? And what they did with the people who were living here, remember I told you they made everybody walk to this place, to this reservation, concentration camp, probably a better name for it because of what was really happening. And then when they wanted it back, they said this is too valuable. They forced everyone to walk inland to Covelo, and there was horrific things that happened on that forced march. It was like a trail of tears. Remember too what Priscilla said. There were vigilante people. The United States government had a law at the time. It was called the Bounty Land Act. And if someone would go out and attack and kill native people in so-called California, they would get paid and they would get 160 acres. Free, 160 acres for attacking the native people, including the Pomo people right here on this land. So when the military is forcing these people to walk inland, they're getting attacked constantly by these vigilantes who are like, oh, there they go. Let's go grab some people and steal them. Children were stolen and enslaved. The women were raped and mistreated in every possible way, and people were killed as well. And then, now that they're cleared out of the area, we have Mr. C.R. Johnson comes in here. They did this thing here, glorifying the logging that he created, the first lumber mill here on this site. He built this house here for himself and for his lumber company that guests could come and stay. Rich people from San Francisco come to visit. And he named the town in 1889. 1889. Everybody knew that Braxton Bragg was a Confederate general. That happened in 1860s. So when he decided this town is going to be called Fort Bragg, they knew that the Confederacy was already, they knew. They just said it's already called that, we'll just keep it the same. But they did name this town after Braxton Bragg, a Confederate general, second in command of the Confederate military.
Wow.
And it's connected with what they're doing here, cutting down these largest living things on the entire planet just for money.